Have you ever had pattern paper that you wanted to use, but you didn't want to cover up both sides? Well, today's card is going to solve that. We are going to be creating a double-sided card, and I'm going to show you how you can use both sides. And so I'm going to be using the paper from Crafty Stamp Co, and this is from their January Crafty Crew kit. It's no longer available, so if you got the kit, you can follow along with this paper, but if not, you can use any pattern paper that you want. So welcome to Fun Fold Friday, and welcome to my channel, Making Crafts. And so today's card is not technically a fun fold card, but I thought it was a good card to create pretty quickly to create too, because I've been very busy with Christmas this week, so I thought I wanted to get a video out, but I didn't want anything that was too extravagant to figure out how to put together. So we're going to make this simple card today. Now, I haven't made one yet. I'm just going to make it with you all, so we're going to hope that it works out first try. I saw it on Pinterest and thought it looked like a very fun card to create, so we're just going to create this together, and I'm going to have to figure out all the measurements as we go. So I'm making an A2 size card, so that would be 5.5 by 4 1/4. So I've already cut my paper down to 5.5, but now this piece I don't want to cut to 4 1/4. I want to cut it just a little larger, so I normally would cut it at 4 1/4. So we're going to cut it at 5 1/4. That's going to give us an extra inch. So we're just trim that down. And then we're going to pick out our pattern paper, and this is the paper I want to use. Both sides are so beautiful that I didn't want to cover them up, so I thought this would be a great card for this. And like I said, you can use any pattern paper that you have. You don't have to use the same paper that I'm using, but I really wanted to play with this paper. And so if you did order the kit, your kit should be coming out. You should be receiving it in January. I am on the design team, so I got the kit a little early. So let's see here. I'm going to cut this down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay. Let me make sure those are the same height. Yes. I need to trim just a little bit of that glue edge off the top there. Okay, there we go. Make sure that's the same height again. That's what's very important. The card is the same height. And then I'm going to cut this piece at 5 1/4 by 3/4. So let's see, how we're going to do that one is, the smaller stuff is really hard for me cutting. I have to really think about it. So I just want 3/4. So I guess I used this. Let's see, about 4 equals, so we're just going to use these little squares, and I think we'll have 3 squares there. Hopefully that's correct. It's just hard to hold. If you have a better way of cutting the smaller on this paper trimmer, I would love to hear. I am not good at cutting small pieces. So let's just bring it down here so maybe I can hold it better. 1, 2, and 3. And we're just going to push this down. And then we'll just trim it. And hopefully that's good. We'll just lay these 2 pieces aside and save those for later. And now we need our scoreboard. So let's see here. I'm just going to find something to score it with. That's not the correct thing. I'm not seeing any of my bone folders today. So after this video, I am going to be cleaning up my craft room because it is a mess from the holidays. Let me look around here and see if I can find a scoring tool. Okay, I found this one that my son made me years ago, so we'll use this one. So what I want to do is score at 1 inch. And hopefully that's correct. Like I said, I didn't see measurements or anything. I just saw where this one was just being created. So I think I'm going to fold it that direction. Let's see, does that look even? I may have not trimmed that even. I'm going to put it in my paper trimmer and just check to make sure that that edge is even. It could just be my eyes this morning. It's been a while since I've been in my craft room too. It's there we go. It was off just a little bit. It's been a while since I've been in my craft room because I've been busy with Christmas. So I'm just going to have to trim this down just a little bit more. So I thought about, so I had this, it seems to be an inch. Somehow I've cut that wrong. So I'm just going to cut at 3/4 of an inch. That seems better. I don't always get my cuts right, so I have to go back and just make sure. So this should fit here like that. So that does. And then this is going to be the front of our card. And this will go here. But now I'm trying to decide, do I like that that has the border around it, or did I want to go all the way to the top? That means I'd have to pull out another piece of paper, because I think all of them are cut down. So we're just going to use it like this and see how that looks. So it's a very simple card to put together, and we're just going to, in order to make it double-sided, this is all we have to do. But I'm going to decorate it with you today as well, so let's just work on that together. And my measurements are a little off, so I'm going to show you. We're going to have to trim just a little off the back here, but that's okay. I'm just doing this on the fly, just after seeing a video. It wasn't even a video, it was just like a really quick, I think, you know, if you've seen those on Pinterest, they're just a really quick video, like just, I don't even know if they're a minute long. They're just really fast, showing how somebody put something together. And so that's what I saw, and I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a try. But I really hadn't had time to test it out or anything. I've just been busy with Christmas, but I didn't want to miss my Fun Fold Friday. My glue, I came in here the other day and found that the lid was off my glue, and it was rolled around on my counter. I don't think I left the lid off. I'm thinking my youngest kitten, he keeps getting into my craft room and messing with stuff, and I'm wondering if this little rubber piece, if he didn't pull on it and it came off, because it's not that tight. So I'm wondering if he did that. Not really sure how it came loose. So I'm just going to add glue to the inside there, and then I'm just going to put this right up against the edge and then press it down. So then we're supposed to add this here, and I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do, but let's just take a look. So here's the inside. So then I'm going to cut a piece of white paper to put in here, and then we can attach this as well. So let's do that. And typically I edit these videos, but today I'm just doing this video pretty much not being live, but like I'm live without editing, because I really don't have time to edit today either. So hopefully you don't mind this style video. Also, hopefully you don't mind all the noise in the background. I can hear my dogs are running around behind me, and there is going to be noise occasionally. So I'm going to cut this one at 4 by 5 1/4. And I just estimate on this. I think this line here is about 1/4, so that's what I always do. And then what we're going to do is use this one on the inside here, and we can always decorate it up with this strip if we want to, or we can use, you know, just leave it blank, whatever we want to do. So I'm going to save this though. I'm not going to glue it down. I just wanted to show you, because I may want to stamp a sentiment in here and also write a note and then glue it down. So I'm just going to save that aside for that. And then I'm trying to decide here, do I really want to put this piece of paper here or not? Let's keep decorating, and then we'll decide the last bit if we do or if we don't. I kind of like this edge here, and we may just make a second one too, because I've got several ideas for this, and I'm just not sure which way I want to do it. Okay, so I brought out some of my dies. So I have, these are old Sizzix dies, and I doubt they still have them. I was looking at some of the packaging that I brought out today, and some of these dies that were from like 2012, one of the Spellbinder ones that I found that I thought about using, but I'm not finally using. So these are really old too, so I'm not really sure. I don't have the card for those anymore, so I'm not really sure how old they are. Now these aren't that old. This is the Tim Holtz, I don't even know what they call them, butterflies maybe? Surely that's what they're called. There's a number there. Let me see if I can hold it up to the camera. Oops, I don't think you're going to be able to see that, just in case. And I don't know. I'm thinking these are still, you can still find these. And yeah, my packaging, I've gotten paint all over it, but it still does what it's supposed to do. So that's what it is. I'm sure you've seen these quite a few times around other people's videos. And I've used them in videos before as well. So I'm trying to decide, I want to put a scallop circle in the center there. And then I want to put a butterfly on it somehow. I'm not sure yet how I want to do it. So let's go ahead and cut this out of the brown cardstock. And I'm just going to use the other piece that was left over for where we cut down. When we cut it down to cut our card off, I'm just going to use this for my brown cardstock here. I think this one's too small. And then for my butterflies, I want them to be one of the papers here. I kind of was thinking this one, but just looking to see how that's going to look. I'm just wanting to look real quick and make sure that's the one I want. Could make the butterfly this. Okay, I'm going to use this one. We're going to see. And then, if not, we may could use this side for the butterfly. So I'm just going to run it through my die cut machine. So what I like to do is just cut it down. Let's see. So one of these is solid, and then one of these is the top piece. You know how it has the outline? So the outline, I'm not sure the color yet, but I'm going to use the bottom piece for this piece of paper, for the script. And then what if we use some of this? We've got some paper above. Hopefully I ain't shaking the camera too bad. Reaching above my shelf here. I'm thinking this piece might be good. Does that go? Or I have this. No, I think I want to use this one. Oh, there's a piece of red here. Does that look better? I kind of like that. Let's try this. We can always cut another one if we don't like it. So I'm just gonna, and my mat has gotten warped. I ordered another one, and it is here. I just haven't opened it yet, so I will get that out today too when I'm cleaning my craft room. I've got several things I ordered during the holidays when there were sales going on, and I just haven't gotten all those things out yet. I just set the boxes in my craft room and continued with Christmas as usual. So that mat is sliding around, so I apologize for that. I need to figure out a way to stick it down so that, if I don't want to ruin my wood table underneath, but I do need to figure out a way so that it doesn't slide around in the videos when I'm using my die cutting machine. So let's see here. I hope you all did have a wonderful Christmas. I didn't even ask how you all were doing. I hope you're all doing well and that you had a wonderful Christmas and back in your craft rooms as well. I really need to stop and just clean this room up. I don't know about you, but for me, when I'm crafting a lot, and I was during the holidays, I just leave so many messes. I tried at the beginning to clean up after myself and keep it under control, but I lost control after a bit. I do like that. I hope that matches the on here. I think those reds match. Sometimes it's hard to match reds. So this is kind of a Valentine's-y card, but I was kind of thinking, if it turns out, I may send this one as a Happy New Year's card, which this is the only stamp I have that says Happy New Year's, but it needs to be Happy New Year's Day, and I'm not sure that this is the style I wanted for this one, so I haven't decided if I'm going to put a sentiment on the front or if I'll just wait and write a note on the inside. So let's run this one through. I forgot about it. We could use a cream. Let's try this. If I don't like it, then I can use a cream colored cardstock for this. We can lay it all out and see what we like. And I'm just doing it. I'm just cutting it over here to the side. I didn't bring it back up here because my mat's then got all out of place. Let's see if we can get that mat back in place real quick. Okay. So I really like this one, this die. I've used it a lot. So if it's there, it's not really going to pop unless we do put another piece of paper on the side there. And then we have our butterfly here. We could put a sentiment in the center, but if we do, we're definitely going to need something to put there. Just trying to decide here. So we have this piece here. I'm going to take this piece. This is not how the video showed quickly. She did have the measurements, but I didn't pause it. I just decided to just do this today. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, she had the measurements for the cardstock. She didn't have the measurements for the plain cardstock, but she had it for the printed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one right direction. I'm going to cut, trying to figure out which trimmer. I don't know. Maybe, let's see, this is how wide? That's 1 inch. So I still want to go at 3/4, but I think I want to keep it the whole length of, let's do it at 7/8 first. We can always cut it down. We can't add more to it, but we can't always cut it down. So let's do it at 7/8. And then let's cut it at 5.5. So this is a 6-inch piece. I only need to take a 1/2 inch off. So let's see if this will work just doing it like this. Hopefully I didn't mess up. Okay. And then we could just add it there, and I can trim off the extra there. So I do need to cut just a little bit more off. But wonder what that would look like. I think I like that better. And it could be this way or this one. I like this one. So let me get my other paper trimmer out because I can't really see with this one. It only goes to 5 inches. I'm just kind of estimating. Move some of that aside here. We wanted this to be 5.5, like our card. Just a little bitty piece needs to come off. And maybe my card's not quite 5.5. So I have to just keep cutting just a little bit. I didn't want to cut too much off. Okay, so we're going to put that there. I think that would look good like that. And then I'm trying to decide now, do I want this one to be here? Maybe that's just too big of a scallop. Okay, we're going to cut one more. Sorry that I didn't plan ahead and have everything ready, but this is kind of the process. So maybe you enjoy seeing the whole process of how I figure these things out when I'm creating a card. This is a very simple card today. So like the actual putting together was very simple. So what you could do is do it like this, leave it plain, and then have your note on the inside. Or you can decorate it up like I'm doing today. And I kind of want to decorate the front up. I didn't want to leave it plain. But there's many different ways you could do these. So let's cut this smaller one, and then that way we can decide which one we want to use. Kind of still want to go with the brown to match the brown on the card. It's just, this is just craft. I don't think it's really brown. It's called craft. So we'll see. Kind of just my process of thinking it through here. So if we put that there, we might just put it down here. How would that look together? Okay. Trying to figure all of this out. We have this here. I kind of want to leave that there so we can see. And that might be pretty like that. Almost feels like we need a little bit different color over here, doesn't it? Let's try. I've got all different pieces of paper over here. I'm just digging around, trying to find it. I had a cream color. I'm just trying to see where I would have put that piece. Okay. So what if we try this cream color here at the bottom with the scallop circle? They kind of look like doily scallop circles. I'm not sure what you call it. I don't know what the die was called. If you wanted to look, I don't know, sometimes you can find these things on eBay. It actually has, I don't know if you can see it there, it has the number Sizzix 560021. Let's see if both of them have that. If that's actually the number for, yep, that's the number for, I love when companies do that. That's the number for this set. And I love when companies do that because, you know, sometimes things get, you know, your different, if you're crafting, your dies get left out and you don't know which kit it goes to. And so really that's a good idea that they put that on there. That way you don't have to be searching. I've seen lots of people in Facebook groups asking, does anybody know, which die set this goes with or that set. So having the number on there is a good idea. I don't know if they still do that or not. I don't think these butterflies, yeah, these butterflies are from Sizzix and they do too. That's a great idea. I haven't noticed my other dies having a number on them. Now I'm going to have to start noticing. I may be just noticing something today I hadn't noticed before. I just flick those pieces out. Now let's see how this looks. That might, I'm already liking that color on here better. And then just a little, it's very simple, but I like that. I did bring out some punches as well, but you could use scallop circle dies if you just had the dies. I just have the punches, and I thought we could make a few little flowers with this little, this is a really small one, but then here's a 7/8. So I thought I could make some flowers. I don't know if it needs flowers or not. We would need to go with this paper here. I don't know if this paper's texture, so I don't know how it's going to do being punched, because it's not solid core. I prefer solid core paper when I'm punching. And let's see. Yeah, this one's not going to do so well for a flower, I don't believe. Does it need a flower though? Sure. Now's when I need to be live so I can ask you all and you can tell me what you think. I did bring some ribbon out as well. I have this one and this one. And so I don't know if we want to add ribbon underneath this piece of cardstock. There's the red. And then here's a white, but it has other colors in it too on the edge. I don't know if you can see, it's real sparkly. So it kind of picks up all the other colors. Trying to decide. Okay, let's make a bow and see. Let's just make a bow. There's the little tape that was holding it together. Okay, I want to make it long enough that I can wrap it around. I'm just going to make a little bow right here. Not that great at making bows, but I do like bows on cards. That's kind of cute. Okay, so we want to make it, I want to make it so that the bow kind of lays in the center here. So I need to be sure I have enough ribbon to wrap around. And then I think this one up here is going to need to be trimmed off some. Hopefully I didn't trim too much. And I'm just going to take a piece of washi and hold it on until I can get this glued down. So I do want it in the center there. And then I want it to run. And I hope you can't hear my wash machine. I'm in my office, but the wash machine seems to be so loud that I can hear it. Hopefully you can't. And then the heat turns on and it's loud, so I'm not going to be able to edit any of that out today, which I'm so thankful. I shouldn't say anything yet, but all of the dogs and cats are very quiet. So what I did was make sure we fed them before I started the video, and hopefully they'll all take naps. I looked over and the kitten's taking a nap. When I first started the video, he was not taking a nap. He was a busybody into all of my craft supplies, so I didn't know how this video was going to go. So what I'm going to do is, I think once I glue it down, I'll just add a little glue underneath that bow and tack that bow down as well. So let's see here. We'll see what we come up with. You know what? It's just paper. I try to remind myself it's no big deal. It's just paper. If the card isn't great, then we can always start over, or we can add more to it. We can cover up, whatever we need to do. And if it ain't that great, every card doesn't have to be perfect. It's the process here of just enjoying ourselves, but also the process. I'm showing you, if my card's not that beautiful when I get done, but at least you saw an idea that maybe you haven't seen before. And, which, like I said, it wasn't new. I saw it on Pinterest, but if maybe you haven't come across it yet. So we need to tack that down just a little, don't we? Probably need some double-sided tape for that. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just putting a little bit of glue because I don't want the glue to come through my ribbon and look like it's wet. So that's what you got to be careful. So I'm just tacking. Oh my goodness. I'm just tapping just a little glue underneath there. It's going to be one of those days where I can't talk. The other day was terrible. I think it's just I guess it's the holiday season. So many things on your mind, you know. You're trying to get so much done. Which now we're past that, all the Christmas rush and getting all that done. But now I have so much on my mind about, I want to get my house clean back up and everything. But I wanted to make this video for you guys first. I like that. I like how that looks. I want to make this video for you all first because I didn't want to not do my Fun Fold Friday, because it's kind of a thing I want to start, and I want to start it. I really want to start in the New Year's, but I decided to start in December, and I want to keep this going so that my whole idea about this was so that we have, you know, different card ideas rather than just your basic cards, which are great. I make basic cards all the time, but rather than that, have different fun folds or different techniques that we use so that it's all in one place. So I made a playlist, and I forgot to add the first one to it, so I got to go back and do all that. But I'm going to try to add each one to it from the time I started it. And so that way you have, oops, I'm going to have to pin that down with some, oops, I'm making a mess now. So let's take this. It's just not wanting to stay down, is it? Looks a little crooked. I'm not sure what I did wrong here. It's just a bow. It's just how a bow does. Okay, so let's see. What can I hold this down with? Oh, here's my tweezers. Let's just do that with the tweezers and see. Hopefully we won't mess it up. There we go. So we'll just let that hold that there. And then we're going to put our little butterfly on and knock some of the glue off. So I'm just going to add a little bit more glue. And I want the script showing through. But what I was saying is I don't even know if I finished it when I saw that pop up. But what I'm wanting to do is just have a playlist of different card ideas. Really for myself as well, because I'll make a card like this, but then I'll forget about it. So I thought it would be fun to, you know, have a playlist somewhere so that I can go back. If I'm needing a card idea, I can go back and check it out. Just trying to think. I think this is a little plain. Maybe like it needs a word or something on it. We'll see. Let's see here. Let's go over here. We do have a lot of colors going on. I don't know if I want too much more going on there. Just taking a look. I do have, where's that back? That's what I love about this kit too. This is a brand new kit that's coming, you know, a series that she's doing this year, and it's bi-monthly. I do have stamps. I could have stamped, there is rose stamps that I could have stamped on that. I could think about that. But here is, this came in the kit as well, and it's little sparklies. Let's see if we can figure out if those would look good on this or not. I'm not sure. Might could just add some, fix up that blank space. I'm just looking here. Kind of need my tweezers now, so I can just pick out a few. Okay, there's one red one. I wonder if there's different size red ones in here. If not, I can go to my, I have a bunch from Cat Scrappiness as well. I could do that. Get some from that set. Some of hers. I think I may have some Valentine ones from her. It doesn't have to be Valentine's, but I'm just looking for, you know, these all may be too large. I'm going to have to go look and see what I have. Let's see, maybe take this big one off, just the little ones here, and add them. Where do we want to put them though? Is that something we want to add to this one? Okay, so I had to pause for just a second. I said I wasn't going to, I was trying to just do this video all the way through, and I knew, you know, without having to edit, but my son needed me to pause. So I just was looking at these stamps while it's paused, and I'm just going to try to stamp. I'm going to take and stamp, try to decide, do I want to cut out a circle to go in the center of this? Would that help with the butterfly? Or do I want to stamp it? Let's try stamping it. We can always cut another one if we need to. This card's taken way longer than I had figured it would. Hopefully you're still with me and I haven't bored you to death. So let me see here. Let's stamp it in, I guess, black, and then we'll color them. Like I said, we can cut another one of those out if we need to. And then we can color it red real quick. I know we're just getting into more and more, aren't we? So I've never stamped with this one, so I'm just going to find a piece of scrap paper in my scrap trash bin. Ooh, I don't think I want the black. I don't think I want to stamp it black now that I saw that. I think I want to go with brown. So let me look around for my brown. let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I like the brown better because for this card, I think that's what's going to go better. So let's just stamp a few random places. So just kind of like there. And let's see, maybe here. Which we know the butterfly is going to cover up several of these. But I kind of have to do it this way when I'm doing random. Because if I don't, then I don't know where to put them. Is it getting to be too much? Let's put the butterfly on there now. And see. Oops, we probably don't have enough. Now that looks too much of a pattern. I want it to be random and not a pattern. So I'm just going to have to add a bit more. And when I do that, I just try to, you know, rotate them around. Okay, that's a lot on there. So we'll see. We will see. Don't want to color them all in though. It's that bad today. But we need to. We need to color some of them in at least. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm actually liking how that one come off the edge there. Maybe could have used a different stamp so I didn't have to color it in. It's kind of like this brown on the edges. Okay, so I don't think you probably can see it, but I'm liking that better. You may not can see what I'm talking about, the little brown on the edges there, the flowers. Let's see, do we want to color them in or do we want to just add them here like this? I think we need to color them in. You know, sometimes having options is nice, but at other times, oops, I saved some of these. Excuse me. Other times having options can be a bit overwhelming. So sometimes if you're getting overwhelmed, you have to just tell yourself you can only use certain supplies. But I'm trying not to get overwhelmed, but sometimes it is. You can't decide which ones you want to use. Hopefully I'm not messing this up. Like I said, we can just recut it. I think I'll use different shades of red just to sort of get kind of a, I don't know, kind of a realistic look. I don't know. Not sure that that's going to be what I was going for. Kind of just blend it all together now with that one. That's looking pretty good. Yeah. So for these, my desk is getting even more piled up. But for these, what I like to do is, even if I'm not using Gamsol, which I don't think I'll use today, I like to just take my this little blending tool and just rub over, because it will just blend them out, which I have smeared it now. So let's just see. Is that going to be what we want anyway? Or should I have just left them brown? Which I can cover that one up like that if I need to. I can just strategically place my butterfly to cover up the one we colored if we don't like the color. I think I'm going to leave it without the color. I honestly am. I think that I like it better. And I think what I'm going to do, this is getting more of a vintage look to it, I think. You won't see that once I cover it with the butterfly. And whoever receives this probably won't know unless they watch this video. Just trying to figure out how I'm going to put that butterfly though, to make sure. We can cut another one if not. Do it like that. I think it should be fine. Or we'll cut another one. I'm actually just going to cut one more real quick, and we'll stamp it up, and then we'll be done. I'm not going to stress it. The only reason I'm cutting another one is I got a little ink up there at the top, and I can't move my butterfly to cover that piece, so let's just get this cut. Okay, so now, everything's falling behind me. I will have to edit that out. If I don't have time to edit it out, you heard a loud boom. That was my Spectrum Noir. I don't know how you say that, but it was those markers. It was those markers filing. So, oh well. They're still in the box though, so that's good. So I'm just going to random stamp this again. And you know, this is the process. I don't know about you, but I don't always have I have a vision, but I don't always know exactly how the card's going to turn out. Uh-oh. Oops, I did that good. I don't always have, you know, and I have an idea, but I don't know exactly what's going to happen when I go to make the card. So, it's not always perfect. I have to just kind of change it as I go. So I don't know about you, but that's how it is for me. And so hopefully you don't mind seeing the process. I know sometimes feel like we got to get in a hurry when we're making videos because, you know, people don't want to see this long process or whatever. And I know some people don't. But you know what? That's the great thing about YouTube. You can take and just fast forward. You can watch the video in faster speed if you wanted to. If you want to just see the finished product, you don't have to. If you don't want to. I like to see it. I like to just relax and watch as the project unfolds. So now we have that. Adding a little color to it. I like that. So now I am going to ink it. I think I already said that, but I'm not sure. I'm looking for my brown, here it is, my brown sponge that goes on the end. So I just swap them out. I got like 3 or 4 of these, but then I just swap them out. And I'm just using some old Stampin' Up! Ink over on the side here. So that's what I'm using. I try to use what I have. So, and whatever works. So even though that ink is, it's amazing. That ink is probably 12 years old, 10 years old. I don't know. It's really old. But the great thing is, if it still works, keep using it. Don't worry about, you know, having to use the most newest thing. Maybe I shouldn't have inked that. I don't know. Okay. I like that. So I think I'm just going to, if I have to cut another one and restamp it, I will have to edit it out because you don't want to watch me do that again. So I'm going to try not to, but if I do, but I just want to give that a try. You know, you have to play. That's what we're doing, just playing. I like that. I like how that looks. And so I could add a sentiment to the card, but I don't have one that I want to add yet. So I'm going to search around and see in some of my old stamps if I have any old New Year's sentiments. I know this isn't like a New Year's looking card, but that's what I'm going to use it for. So, you know what? It doesn't have to follow a theme all the time. I love butterflies, and so hopefully the person I send this to loves butterflies as well. So maybe they won't mind the, you know, but I just wanted to send, I didn't get Christmas cards out to everybody that I wanted to. So I thought about putting the center there, but I really think it down here at the bottom, and that would probably look good straight up and down. But if you know me, I have to do everything wonky. I just like it to the side. So let's take, oh, before we do this, remember we almost forgot. So when I made it just a little too big. So what I'm going to do is just trim that off. And you can try the measurements that I did, because this is not that bad to trim off. And the measurements that I gave as I was doing it, I didn't write them down because I was just talking to you guys and doing it. But you can try those measurements, and you can see here, I mean, I'm having to cut a little off of each thing and change a few things. So you can just kind of change along with the video if you follow along. So I'm just going to fluff that up. I pushed it down. Okay. Then I think it's pretty just like that. And that could be your card. And like I'm going to put this on the inside so that we have that to glue down later. I want to write a note first. I don't know if I made that a little too high, but I can't move the butterfly now, so he's going to have to stay like that, or she. Then we're just going to add some glue here. Do you do that when once you've glued something, you start looking at it like, maybe I should have changed this or that. But if I make another one, then I'll know to change it. But here we go. This is our card. And I might kind of want to add some of these jewels in. I don't know. All right. I'm going to leave it off. I'm going to leave it off, and we're going to leave it at that, and then we can always add something later. I might come back with some pearls or something. I'm not sure yet. Put that over in the scrap. But that is our card. Like I said, we'll glue this down after I write in here. And now that I'm looking at it, I might bring in the cream color cardstock instead. I'm glad I didn't glue that down. I think that's what I'll do. And then you can always bring in some of these leftover strips, and you could just, you know, glue that on like that. or like use the front side and reuse, use those strips up, or you can even put it across the bottom if you wanted to. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back in with the cream and do that. So here is the completed card though. I really love how it turned out. I'm still a little questioning what I should add down there. So I did go digging in my stash and found these Spellbinders Fashion Blush pearls. And so what I've decided to do is just to put those onto the butterfly. And I don't know if you can see, but I think it adds a little something to the card more. So that is the completed card. I know it took me quite a while to create this one, but that's just my process. So I hope that you've enjoyed seeing me create this. I hope that it has inspired you. I would love to see if you create one of these cards. Tag me on Instagram if you decide to create one of these. I don't know what to call it, but it's like a double-sided card, a way to use up your pretty printed paper. So let me know. You can tag me at Making Craft Studio so I can see it. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.